Hi, my name is Kurt Bowman and welcome to the second edition of Yoga for Old Guys. And if you haven't figured out by now, it's not just for old men. This video series is designed for people regardless of their age, regardless of their gender. They want to build strength, they want to build flexibility, and maybe their balance is waning a little bit, and we want to build that as well. And that's what we're going to do together. So today, let's start in child's pose. Remember to bring your toes together, big toes together. Sit back as far as you can. Let your glutes sink as deeply as they can against your heels. Arms straight out in front of you. Fingers creeping away from your head. Let your head drop. Just feel that lower back stretch out. Yep. Allow the lower spine to release. Breathing into it. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Come up into tabletop. Remember to bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Inhale, dropping your pelvis and your abdomen, bringing your head up into cow. Breathe in. Exhale into cat. Push those shoulder blades away from the floor. Bring the abs up high. Let the back round out. Inhale into cat or cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. One more time. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Come into seated. Bring your feet out or your legs out straight in front of you. For some, this is where a strap or an old belt might come in handy. So just gently for now, lean forward. Now, touching your toes may be not a good idea right now. Just bring your hands as comfortably forward, shins, ankles, as you're able. Come back up. Bring your right knee up close to your chest. Left leg is out on the floor. Sitting up straight. Right arm behind you. Bring your left arm on the outside of your right knee. And remember to twist with your shoulders and your chest. Open up your chest. Don't twist with your eyes. Your eyes are going to deceive the twist. Right leg out in front of you. forward, lean towards your toes. Come up to seated. Bring your left knee up tight. Left arm behind you. Twist to the left. Remember, sit as tall as you're able. Let the neck grow long. Head sits right on top. You're opening up your heart, twisting with your chest. Not with your eyes, not with your neck. Both legs out straight. Lean down into the fold. If you're able to come back up. Let's go to the top of our mat. We're going to start the sun salutation series and add to where we were in our first video. Arms up, inhale, arms overhead. Let's do a little baby back bend. Bring the elbows down, arms down into cactus, just a slight back bend. Arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Remember to get that back straight. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pump out or pedal out the calves a little bit and your ankles. Let's just pedal those out a minute. Look between your hands. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, mountain. Now just in your first mountain here, take a breath in through your nostrils, exhale through your nostrils. Now open your hands up in the supine or anatomical position, palms facing forward, and roll those shoulders back and down. Give those shoulders just a gentle stretch. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, chaturanga. Exhale, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Look between your hands. Hop or step to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Baby back bend here. Exhale, mountain. Now we're going to start adding to the series. Inhale, arms over. Baby back bend. Bring the elbows down into cactus. I don't know about you, but I can feel that, this nice stretch. Arms overhead. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in down dog. Inhale, right-legged, three-legged dog.
Remember to get those hips square. Don't lean one way or the other. Right foot up next to your right thumb. Drop your left knee, point your toes back. Come up with your left arm. Just feel that stretch. Plant the left hand on the floor. Right arm straight up overhead. Always keep your knee as straight as you're able. Remember to turn with your chest. Both hands to the floor. Curl your left toes under. Come up with the left leg straight. Come into a crescent lunge. Your right leg in this case is 45. Your arms come up, you lift with your ab. You're looking forward. Remember, only raise your arms to the point where you're not pushing your shoulders into your ears. Hands to the floor, both legs back. Inhale, chaturanga. Exhale, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. Inhale, left leg, three-legged dog. Left foot up front next to your left thumb. Drop your right knee. Come up with your right arm. Let that pelvis sink. Stretch that left glute. Just let it sink. Right hand to the floor. Left arm up overhead. Opening the chest. Opening the heart. Stretch it out. Left hand to the floor. Right toes curl under. Crescent lunge. Anytime you do a crescent lunge, your back leg is straight. Front leg is 45 or near to, or I should say 90. Somewhere between 45 and 90. Stretch it out. Arms up high or out in front of you, whatever keeps your shoulders away from your ears. Hands to the floor. High plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. Inhale, right-legged, three-legged dog. Right foot forward. Drop your back foot for warrior one. Coming up into warrior one. Back foot is out about 45 degrees. Remember to square up those hips. If you have to take arms down and square those hips, move your back leg out a little bit if necessary. Warrior one. Inhale, hands to the ground. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, chaturanga. Exhale, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Bring it forward for warrior one. Come up with your abs. Bring your hands up right along with it. Come into high plank, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths in down dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Bring your right foot forward. Left toes are down. Come into crescent. Remember, you might have one side that's better than the other. Let that pelvis sink. Back leg is straight. Hands to the floor. High plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Come up to left foot forward. Crescent lunge. Back heel is up. Hands to the floor, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, down, exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths in down dog. Inhale. Right-legged, three-legged dog. Bring the knee up by the right thumb into pigeon. Now remember, the full expression of pigeon is to have your your shin 90 degrees. I think that's too hard on the knee. So bring it up as far as you're able. For now, for some, you might be up on your fingers. Idea is to let your pelvis drop straight down. Let it fall straight down. For some, you can come down to your forearms. Eventually, you can come down with your forehead on the mat. You can just, no matter where you're at, allow that pelvis to drop straight down. Don't roll the hip to the right or the left. Straight down. Stretch that hip out and the glutes. Come back up to your fingertips if you're not there. Left toes rolled under. Right leg, three-legged dog. Shake it out. Switch. Left leg, three-legged dog. Left knee up by your left hand. Position your shin, foot. Just first, pelvis straight down. And then come down to a point that you're able. Just allow everything to stretch. it out. This is my most favorite stretch of the whole world. Come up to your fingers if you're not there. Left leg, three-legged dog, shake it out. Downward facing dog. Just take a minute now on down dog. Focus on allowing your head to drop. Your back and spine is straight, although angled down. And your pelvis is pointed up towards that point in the ceiling where the ceiling meets the wall. Look between your hands. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to mountain. Palms out, shoulders back and down. Eyes closed. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Baby back bend into cactus. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg, three-legged dog. Left foot up by your left hand. Come up into crescent. Hands to the mat. Feet back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Right foot up by your thumb. Inhale into crescent. Hands to the mat. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Bring it up front. Come up to standing with your feet 3 to 4 feet apart, and your toes pointed forward. Hands on your hip, shoulders back and down, and just bend forward at the hip. Allow your hands to drop, your head to drop, your neck to drop, and get your feet as far apart as necessary so you can get your palms flat on the floor. If you're not there yet, go ahead and bend forward as far as you're able. Head drops, hands to your hip, come up to stand, and bring your feet together. Now, let's bring those feet apart again. 3 to 4 feet. And we're just going to set up today for what's known as Warrior Two. Take your left toes in this case, point forward, bend your knee, and your back leg is out 45 to 90 degrees. Pretend your back is against the wall, a wall, as much as you're able. Remember, you got to be able to see your first 2 toes on your forward foot. Now bring your arms out straight up along the sides. I like turning my back arm palm up only to stretch my shoulders out. Hands are shoulder height. Fingers are pushing away from each other. Now, get your torso straight up over your pelvis. You're looking forward over your front, or you're looking forward over your front fingers. Everything is level. Head is right above your neck. That is the basic. Now, drop your back hand and bring your front arm back and stretch out, in this case, those left ribs. Come back into Warrior Two. Up to stand. Now this way, right toes are pointing forward. Left foot is 45 to 90 degrees in the back. Back leg is straight, arms out. I turn my back palm up to stretch out my shoulder or your front toes, and you're looking out over your front fingers. Drop your back hand and come back into a stretch. Whew. Breathe through those right ribs. Warrior Two. Check your toes and come up to stand. Okay. Do some balance work. Last time, we did just a standing balance. We're going to start off with that and add to that each time. So, ground into the 4 corners of each foot, and we're going to start with our right foot. Ground into the right foot, engage the right hip, let your left toes just balance. Touch your toe, you're standing straight, and pick a focal point out in front of you that isn't moving, and just simply bring your left foot 6 inches out in front of you. Just that simple. Without touching your toes, bring your left foot back behind you a few inches. For me, my right is the toughest way to balance. Pick that focal point out, stand up straight. You want to bring your hands to heart center or out for balance. For now, whatever works. Building the strength and the balance. Bring your left knee up. And set it down. Shake them out if you need. Opposite foot, case the left foot, get all four corners down on the floor, ground in. You're standing up straight, right toes just touching, and bring that right foot out in front of you about 6 inches or so. And without touching, bring it behind you. Keep that focal point. Left hip is engaged. Right knee up. And bring both down. Okay, now we're going to add a balance to our practice, and we're going to add tree. Now, tree is bringing one foot up. You start, of course, by grounding. I'm going to start with my left foot, ground all four corners back of the left foot into the ground. Let's start with the right. We just came off our left. Ground the right foot into the ground. Just balance your left toes. Now, kickstand those toes with your heel right next to your right shin. Now, bring your left foot flat up against your shin, or you can bring it up to your thigh. Whatever you do, don't rest it on your knee. Don't push your knee to the side. For me, as you can see, my right is always a challenge. Bring your left foot up to your shin or your thigh, or you can leave your toes on the ground but kickstand that foot and turn your left knee out perpendicular to your right leg. Find that focal point. May seem shaky, but you're building strength, and the balance eventually comes a little more and more. It used to be a lot worse for me. All right, bring your left down, shake it out. Plant your left foot, all four corners in. Kickstand that right foot. Now, right foot up to the right or left shin, or if you're able to bring it up and keep it up to your left thigh, that's better yet. That's the full expression of the pose. Either is good as long as that leg is perpendicular. And you're going to fall out of it, but if you don't, that's great. And bring them both to the ground. All right, let's shake it out a little bit. Okay. To the top of our mats. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Just let your head hang here a moment. Maybe your back is a little tight right now from the balance. Stretch it out. Inhale, halfway lifted. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, let's come to seated. Legs out in front of you. Just gently fold in towards your toes. Come back up. Down to, whoops, forgot the abs, sorry about that. Get your sits bones ground in and come up the boat. For the time being, let your legs be folded. Bring your hands out. Be able to turn your palms up. Spine straight. And left leg out. Right leg is bent. Right leg is out. Left leg is bent. Switch. Left straight. Right bent. Out. Right out. Left out. Right out. Left out. Right out. Both of them out of the boat. If you're able to get your legs straight, spine is straight. Shaking is okay. And come down. Let's roll over to our stomachs. We're going to do some back strengthening. Forehead's on the ground. Toes are flat and pointed back. Arms straight in front of you. Thumbs pointed up, pinkies on the ground. Push down with your pinkies and engage your shoulder blades by pushing your pinkies down. Push down. Push down. Come up to cactus. Toes are down. Cactus arms, chest is off the ground. Neck is straight. You're looking 6 inches out in front of you a little bit. But keep your neck straight, don't careen it. Arms down, neck or forehead down. Pinkies down, thumbs pointed up. Now we're going to push our pinkies down and our toes down. We're going to simultaneously engage, lift the knees off the ground by pushing the toes down, and engage the shoulder blades by pushing the pinkies down. Toes and pinkies pushing down. Toes on the floor. Come up to cactus. Raise those elbows another 1/2 inch. Neck straight. Pinkies down, forehead down. Pinkies pushing, toes pushing. Knees are up, shoulder blades engaged. Now when we come into cactus, we're going to go into Superman. Cactus arms, knees and toes off the ground. Neck is straight. Raise those elbows another 1/2 inch. Engage the glutes. Raise your toes another 1/2 inch. And come down. Right ear to the floor, or right ear to the ground. Hands down along your side. Let your neck stretch. And left ear to the ground. Hands along your side. Hands up alongside your ribs. Remember to keep your elbows in tight and push yourself up. Come into seated. One more time, sitting straight, spine straight, legs straight out in front of you. And lean into your toes. If you're able to grab your toes, that's great. Come down into on your back. We're in a happy baby. Bring your knees up into your armpits. Grab the bottom of the inside of your foot. The idea is to keep your neck and head down, and your back is, or your lumbar as much on the ground as you're able. You're not bringing your abs up here. If you can pull your knees into your armpits, that's good. Now, still holding your feet, how much are you able to straighten your legs? And bring your knees back into your armpits. And come down onto your back with the soles of your feet together in butterfly. Let your knees fall to the sides. Let your knees just fall to the floor if they're able, with the bottoms or the soles of your feet touching each other together. Don't force them too much. Knees up, legs together. Right knee over left. Bring your hips up and to the right an inch, and let your knees fall to the left. Stretch your right arm out to the side like a T. And as much as you're able, let your shoulders stay on the ground. Come back up the center. Left knee over right. Right hip or hips up into the left a little bit and fall to the right. Get the left arm out to the T, and as much as you're able, get that left shoulder blade back on the ground. Just breathe through the stretch. Come back up to neutral, knees up, and bring your legs out straight. Heels are mat width apart. Hands down, palms up. And let's go into Shavasana. Allow the entire body to drop straight down. Release your breathing. welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. You can pause it. Everybody else roll to your side, right side. And bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you for practicing with me today. And as is the tradition in many yoga practices, bring your hands to prayer, heart center. Sitting up straight, allow your chin to drop down, and in gratitude to yourself for practicing today, namaste. Now, with YouTube, you can do me a favor by liking and sharing this video if you so choose. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. So I'm going to keep adding to this, and hopefully together we're going to grow in strength and balance and maybe some coordination. So until next time, thanks for tuning in and have a great day.